Y'all know I gotta get myself together. Okay. Moisture down. Okay. All the things. All the things. Period.
Girl, get at it, get your bag up. Hit that gym and get back fine. Go get that degree, go girl, focus on me. Unlock potential
that you didn't know you had in you. That, hey. Oh yeah, it's time to mix it up and get.
Okay guys, so this is probably like my 10th time trying to make a video, but I promise this is gonna be the last take. I haven't decided how I'm gonna edit this yet, but I want to just come on here raw and uncut and just really talk to you guys about what has been going on, because I feel like I started my YouTube channel and then it was like ghosting, and I don't want to be that influencer or that YouTuber that just like makes content inconsistently. So apologies on that, but we're gonna get into where have I been. Excuse me. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get started. And make sure if you don't already follow me, my social handles are always going to be in the description box. And for those of you that are relatively newer to my channel, maybe you're just new in general. Hi, my name is Shardell. I am the woman behind the POST-GRAD Diaries of Curly Blanco. And today I am just doing a little rant, a little update on my life, a little this, a little that. We're going to go through all the things because the last time I made a video or posted a video was like October, and we're in January now. So happy 2024, everybody. Okay, I haven't seen anybody, but happy 2024. So great to be here. God is amazing. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of give an update because life has been lifing, and I just need to know, does anybody really know what I'm talking about? Does anybody like resonate? Does anybody feel me? Does anybody have things they want to add to it? As a disclaimer, if anything that I say does resonate with you, definitely drop a comment in the comment section below. Give this a like, give this a share, because I know that if you're going through it, then you probably know somebody else that's going through it too. So without further ado, let's get started. So as all good YouTubers do, we have a handy dandy notepad, okay? To make sure that I don't miss anything as I'm talking to you guys, because I am working on my camera presence and making sure that I'm prepared when I'm speaking and all those good things. So I'm going to be referencing this. So if I'm looking down, that's more than likely why. But I want to start off with work because it wouldn't be a post-grad journey if we didn't talk about work. So I am now, well, officially today, which is January 17th, I am now having my first work anniversary, which is my first 6 months. Yay! First 6 months of work. And I would say so far in these 6 months, I have learned a lot, which I'm sure everybody is going to end up learning a lot when you're, you know, starting in a new area, when it comes to where you work, your day-to-day, where you stay, who you're around, all of these things. But nobody really told me that this transition from HBCU life to corporate was going to be this intense. And it was cute at the beginning, like, oh yeah, corporate baddie, woo, woo, woo. But I mean, I'm still a corporate baddie, don't get me wrong. Okay, let's not get it twisted. Still a corporate baddie, but now it's like, okay, now that we're settling in, it's like, whoa, this goes on, that goes on. I didn't know this, I didn't know that. And it's just crazy, y'all. Like, what? I will say some of my biggest lessons from working corporate so far has been to, number one, which is a life thing too, but the first thing is to choose who you tell your business to wisely. And this can go for your personal business, your professional business, issues you may run into at work. I say that because as you're adjusting to things, and when you're, at least for my company, everybody is older, so they may not always view the issues that you're going through how you may view them. So it's important to find people at work that you can trust. I feel like everybody always says that, because sometimes you just can't trust people at work, and that's fine. If you have to outsource for a mentor, your homegirl, your parents, family, whoever, you gotta talk to your dog. Like, okay, you just need to be able to get those things out. So for me personally, I have a mentor outside of work who is in media as well. And I also have 2 or 3 mentors at my job that are not in my department. They're still at the company, but it's just, they're totally, I won't say far removed, but they're just not where I'm at in the company. Which is great because they can have an unbiased opinion to things I may be going through and just being able to lend their perspective on things without being biased. So That'll be my first lesson. My second lesson has been to find ways to collaborate, because I don't know about y'all, but again, tying back to the whole HBCU culture thing, which I did not really realize was in some ways toxic. Let me know if y'all want me to make another video on that, because I feel like that's its own topic in and of itself as far as why HBCU culture is toxic, low-key. But I will just say, for me, and for those of y'all that went to Hampton with me, shout out Onyx 12, y'all already know I was in everything, but that was genuinely the culture at my school. My senior year specifically, I was president over 2 organizations at once. I was a campus ambassador. I was writing freelance. What else was I doing? Lord Jesus. I was also a part of another organization, just as 2 organizations actually, as general body members. So that is a total of 5 different organizations I was doing at once while being a full-time student. A lot. So I will just say, but in doing so, like transitioning into corporate, or at least again, my company's culture, I can only speak for my company. Everybody has different corporate experiences, but for my company specifically, they're very big on collaboration and everybody working hand in hand, and we're doing this together, and everybody has to have their input on something. And that is amazing. I think that's great, especially, well, okay, it's great, but then it's not great when somebody's not doing what they're supposed to be. That's just facts. But I will say, coming from an HBCU environment, I'm so used to doing everything myself and being in a leadership role, I'm having to, I don't know why all this indigestion is going on, y'all, I'm sorry. But all of the backtracking when it comes to how I'm wired as a person now, when it comes to my leadership skills and bringing a lot more to the table than probably what a lot of people do, it's just kind of making me see the differences and how I'm able to kind of still apply my HBCU experience to the office. So that's its own thing. I will say, in my experience working, I have been able to find, I forget what they call them at different companies. Oh my gosh, there's a term for this. I can't think of it right now, but if I find it, I'm gonna put it on the screen. I found different communities at my job, specifically for race. So with that, I have a group that is various walks of life, various ages, and I have another group that is more for people that are my age, recent graduates, things like that, which is great. I love that. I will say it's definitely helped me just be around, let me choose my word. I don't want to say better. I'm gonna say I'm around people more that get it. You know, like I'm around more people that get being the most successful in their family, or maybe being the most successful in their friend group, which is a whole other video. We're gonna talk about that later. The mindset that goes with being very high achieving and Black and young and ambitious, and being a small fish in a big pond, and what that looks like. And it's really cool. Not all of them went to HBCU, but a few of them did. But even still, the parallels in our experiences, even though we did not go to the same institution, is the exact same. I just love that, because I need people that I can really call on. Like, and this is not even me trying to diss anybody or any of my friends, because you know I love you guys, but it's certain things that I genuinely cannot talk to you guys about, because y'all are not in a corporate setting. Y'all don't understand what it is like to, or even my family for that matter. Like, I'm the only person on my dad's side of the family to ever go to college, period. And it's like, my dad is one of 6, and there's like, I want to say there's maybe at least 15 grandkids, at least. I just did like a brief count in my head really quick, and maybe more or less, but I want to say 15 of us, maybe even 12. I feel like there's 15. I want to say there's 15. I'm gonna have to double check those numbers, but regardless, it's over 10 people for sure. It's over 10. Over 10 people. Mind you, I'm the baby of everybody, but to be the only one out of all these people that went to school and went away from home, it's a lot of pressure. And I'd say my family doesn't support me, because they do, but I think it's just a difference. Like, I cannot call them to say, hey, like, I mean, I can, but it's just certain things I wouldn't be able to say. Like, if I'm bringing up a situation at work, they may not be able to fully speak to that because that's not their experience, or they've never went through that. Or they may not be able to give me advice on certain situations because that's just not their experience, and they wouldn't really know how to properly guide me on that. Again, nothing wrong with this, but I think it's just me learning and going through my post-grad journey and understanding that some people just meant for certain roles in your life, and trying to figure out where people fit in is very important, because you don't want to put somebody in multiple categories that maybe does need to be there or they're not qualified to be there. So that's what I've been learning. But just with my new friends, they've really been helping me be more confident in standing in my resume. I feel like, and maybe this is just, again, I think it's just HBCU culture overall, not necessarily just Hampton, but just the constant keep going. Like, there was very few, I feel like I didn't even really start doing this until maybe senior year, really at the end. But I feel like I just did not take enough time to smell the roses and really just take in what I was doing. I was just going like, okay, oh, you're VP? Oh, we gotta figure out how we gotta be president. Oh, you're running this? I gotta figure out how to do this. Oh, I'm hosting an event. When's the next one? Like, it was just a constant going, and never really like just sitting down and breathing. Like, I feel like sitting down and breathing is frowned upon in HBCU culture. I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but it's like, if you're not doing anything, or you're not president of this, and you're not president of that, then you're just nothing. I did not believe that personally for myself, because all the things that I led, I genuinely wanted to, and everything that I had my name attached to, I was genuinely doing my best to be involved. And I'm not going to say I did the best all the time, but I definitely put my best foot forward in everything as most I could. Again, I was over like 5 different things, so I couldn't be everywhere every time. But even that was a whole concept, like trying to understand, you know, I don't have to show up all the time. Sometimes I just need to show up as me. And I think, and I've talked to my friends about this too, but I don't know if anybody else, if y'all went to other HBCUs, drop that in the comment section down below too. But I was just going to say that specifically with Hampton, they have a problem. The alumni, some alumni, have a problem with staying attached to Hampton. And y'all don't cancel me, but y'all know it's true. Because it's like cutting the umbilical cord. Like, Hampton gave them all of their identity when it came to their campus involvement and what they did and where they were able to shine. All of that is great. But it gets to a point where you have to just cut the umbilical cord and really build your identity and grow up outside of who you were in college. And I think there's a place for that, definitely, like those first few months or maybe even like a year after. But some people just are OD. Like, some people really just, sorry if y'all heard the door slam. My apartment is like kind of hollow. Is that the right word? Hollow. Let's say hollow. But anyway, a lot of people just have not cut the umbilical cord with Hampton. And you see it because if you're a student there now, you'll see it now. Maybe even some people in my class, okay, that have just found themselves heavily involved in student events. Nothing wrong with student events. I love student events. I miss my HBCU campus every now and then. But it just gets to a point where it's like, what are you doing here? Like, you know, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? I don't know. But it was the same way when I was a freshman too. And I was looking like, who are these people? And then I would ask somebody, they'd be like, oh, that's so-and-so from such and such class. Or they were Onyx 10. I'm like, what? Like, it's just, I don't know. Things like that. I've been grateful and blessed enough to say that even while I was in school, I always made sure to have the balance between the two and make sure that I was building my rapport even outside of me being a student, which is great. I just think that now that I'm transitioning out of it, and I'm shedding a lot of the layers when it comes to who I was in college and growing into the woman that I am now, I'm seeing how they differ and how they're similar. So saying all that to say that, tying back, oh wow, I was talking about friends. I really got off track. Okay. With the whole friends thing, going back to the beginning, I would say that I'm very grateful for my friends now. I've had a lot of epiphanies, a lot of life changes. And a lot of my friends have been very supportive in these life changes and being there for me and praying with me, crying with me. And I'm very grateful for that. Genuinely. And you know who you are. Know who you are. But I was just saying all that to say that sometimes you have to identify who is in what role in your life. And sometimes that role is going to change based upon where you are in life. Some people are not meant to be the person you keep cute with anymore. And even going back to my point earlier, as far as like the things I want to talk about may not resonate with my old college friends because they're not at that point in life, or they may just not have a lot of insight on her that they may be used to talking about things we used to talk about in school. Like that stuff doesn't excite me anymore. Nothing wrong with that. Do what you do. I'm not asking you to change. I'm just saying that does not work for me and my lifestyle anymore. And everybody's different. So I'm not telling anybody to go toward a certain path, but I'm just ranting. I was very nervous actually to make new friends here or in New York because outside of all the crazy reviews, I've had various really, really bad friend experiences, not only in college, but also like a little bit in high school. And then like even growing up, I just always gonna have an issue with making friends. Let me become correct. I never had a problem with making friends or building relationships. I always had a problem with identifying some people's genuine energy. And some people in my life, or it's been somewhat of a pattern, people that are kind of like energy drainers or people that kind of just suck the life out of you. Because if you know me in real life, I'm very happy-go-lucky, very positive, always sending affirming messages, sending resources, things like that. That's who I am. And I think a lot of people will try to use you for what you have. And I just think that was happening even at a younger age. And I just didn't really see, because even my mom would tell me to be careful about who I'm around, always try to stay true to myself, but also use my spiritual discernment. And I'm gonna say I had a whole lot then. I have a lot more now, definitely, but it was just certain things that would kind of happen, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is the end of the world. I thought they were my friend, and this is just crazy. Whole lot of hullabaloo. But I will say, in transitioning out of that, or maybe not even transitioning out, keeping my core self, but figuring out how to navigate these situations now, I'm really setting up a lot more boundaries. I really kind of started this during my senior year, as I had different situations come out within my friend group at a time, or just people around me. I was just getting a lot more private with my life and things I had going on. Even with the people that I knew I could trust, I just was practicing it across the board so I can make it a habit. And now that I have made it a habit, I am a lot more private with the things I have going on. I feel a lot better. But then I also have moments where I'm like, dang, I really wish I could tell somebody about this. I really wish that I could, express certain things. And I'm working on journaling a lot more, so at least I can express it to my notebook or express it to God, or, if I decide to tell one of my parents something. But it's just different. When you are waiting for God to kind of send you the right people to be around, or the right people to be genuine around you. I just feel like I have that now for sure, but these are relatively newer friends. So I'm not just about to be like, oh my gosh, I got this. No, I'm not about to dump on people. I'm not going to push people to listen to more than what they have the capacity for. I just need to work on the balance between how much I tell people in the earlier stages of a friendship, even if it does seem really genuine. And I don't even want to say I've struggled with that before, but I just don't want to get too overly excited about the people in my life yet until I just have more confirmation. So, yeah. Okay, so speaking about privacy, y'all. So I just went through a breakup. Yes, a breakup. I know y'all are like, what, man? Don't worry about all that. Just know I had a man and we was happy, okay? I felt like I just felt like everything was finally coming together. I was just like, yes, I'm in a movie. I got my job, I got my place, I got my man, I got my money. I was just really living, okay? And I just got a rude awakening on the realities of what you may want in a relationship and what somebody has the capacity to give you, or what is in their wheelhouse, what's in their jurisdiction, what they're comfortable with. I'm not going to say that this person was not capable of giving me these things, but I feel like when you have somebody that does not see certain issues as an issue, it's very hard to fix them. So it's kind of like the pre-step before you get to step one. Like, it was like that type of situation. And I think for me, and knowing this person for a long time, I had the assumption that things were just gonna kind of get better on their own, and he understands where I'm coming from, and we're communicating, and everything is great. And it really was. It was like, it was so good until it wasn't. It was so good. That's the best way I can describe it. It was so good until it wasn't. And I will say, in being treated better by previous people that I had dealt with, it was just kind of like, okay, I'm getting treated a certain way to a higher regard by somebody else previously. And I'm with you and you can't even do a 1-2. Not comparing, but as a woman, or even as a man too, whatever you identify as, when you've been treated a certain way, like, okay, how do I put this? When you've been treated like a queen, you're not gonna go to somebody who's gonna treat you like a court jester? Like a clown, okay? This is not a joke, okay? Period. But no, in all seriousness though, like, you're not gonna go back to that. You're not gonna go back to being the housemaid when you were previously owning the house. Like, you're not gonna go back to low performance. It's the same thing when you're on a job. Like, if you perform lowly in a quarter and your manager communicates with you, hey, I know you have the capabilities to do this. I've seen you do it in the past. We just need you to do this, 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 and this. And should you, get the numbers up in this time frame, we'll be good. And you say, oh, okay, like, I hear you, I understand. Maybe I was kind of, messing up. You took responsibility, you took accountability, you heard what the person was saying, and you still didn't fix it. I'm sorry, because this is so funny. And I'm really leaving out a lot of details for the sake of my own privacy. But for those that have, like, understood the real play-by-play on things, I don't even think I've still told anybody, like, everything. And I don't think I will. I think that's just something that I'm going to keep between me and God. But I got the lesson out of that I needed. And the overall thing that I was really able to pull from that is just to remember my worth and remember that if he wanted to, he would. And I don't have to settle. I don't think any woman should settle. I was going to say at this age, but at this age, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I don't have to settle right now, okay? And for anybody that watches Shira 7, that has been my new, like, holy grail. It's a mix between Shira 7 and Love Your Natural. I love Your Natural. Oh my gosh, if she sees this, hey girl. Hey girl. But yes, between those two people, and then of course just like staying in my word, being around, again, genuine people that remind me that I don't need this treatment, has just really been helping me to just get out of it. Another thing that's been really helping me get out of it is definitely therapy. We love Black health and wellness around here, okay? But in general, I've really been focusing on my health, my mental health. Even before this whole situation, I was focusing on it. But now that this has happened, it kind of shifted things in my life. I've really been locked in on it. So with that, I have been just doing what I need to do. As far as going to therapy, taking notes, journal prompts, self-reflecting, doing the inner work on myself to actually figure out, okay, what role did I play in this situation? Was it fixable? How can I do things better for next time? All these different things. So with all of that being said, I am not looking for a relationship right now. Should one find me, that's different. I'm gonna have to pray about that. But I just think, even though the relationship was like more short-lived, whether it would have been that time frame it was in or 3-4 years, like, it still would have probably been the same lesson, because it was the same thing reoccurring over and over again. And I'm trying to give myself grace with it also too, because I feel like sometimes when you go through things, you're like, oh my gosh, like, I was so stupid, I shouldn't have done that, I knew better. And it's like, you did, but like, don't be hard on yourself, because the world is already hard on you enough. when you make bad decisions or when you do something wrong. So I've just learned to give myself grace and just remind myself that, like, girl, it's okay. It is what it is now. We got to keep it moving. So, yeah. And going back to, well, I guess circling back, what I've been doing. I would say throughout my experience in post-grad overall, just taking it back as a general statement, I've really been having fun, honestly. I've been going out. I've been trying new foods. I've been making new friends. Like, I've been networking a lot. Like, I just went to a networking event in New York by this organization called Scene, and it's for the sports and entertainment industry. I'm not even in sports entertainment, okay? I was just in the room. With people, okay? Now, I will say, which was so crazy, I actually lost my voice, like, days prior. So I was literally in there networking with, like, no voice. Like, I was so hoarse and I felt so terrible because I was trying to talk to people. Like, I had to always, like, talk in their ear or, like, just kind of skip to, oh, what's your social media? Because it was just so intense. But nonetheless, great time. I have a few more events on my social calendar that I've been signing up for. I've been volunteering a lot more. I've been volunteering at a local rescue mission. I have been really getting my place together. I know I never did like a apartment tour. I'm still planning that. I just want to get it together in here. Like, I just feel like it's not giving, but it's fine. We're gonna get there. You know, it's only been like 6 months. So, well, 7 months. So we're good. We're just getting settled. So, yeah, I would just say just getting out more. A lot of my friends that I have, like I mentioned, are recent grads, just across the board, not even just ones from work, but outside of work. And it's been really cool seeing how we have all been navigating our adulthood separately and together, and lessons that we've been able to take from each other. So I would say for anybody that's looking for friends, there's an app called Geneva. I'm gonna put the logo or something right here so you guys can see. But Geneva is really, really good when it comes to finding small groups of people, whether it's men, women, if you identify with a certain sexuality. There are different groups in that you can sign up for based upon where you're located, or even beyond where you're located. You can kind of meet new people in. I haven't personally used it yet because I ended up connecting with people like outside the app. But if you want to do it, I mean, they have like multiple meetups. Like, I know I'm in a group for New Jersey and New York, and they send stuff like all the time. I actually need to probably go to something by now because I've been in the chat for so long. But it's really, really cool. And if nothing else, you can always go on Eventbrite. That's really what's been helping me find events. Eventbrite, Instagram, TikTok posts a lot of places that I'm sure we all know by now. So it's just about really finding, at least for me right now, what's going to make me happy and what's going to help me to grow and just experiencing new things. I definitely feel like going to a HBCU and going to a private HBCU gave me a specified experience that was kind of just in my area, and that was it, or not a lot to do all the time. So I'm glad that I'm in a larger pool of events and things I can go to. So they're really cool. I'm trying to think about, is there anything else? I don't think so. But I just wanted to really make this video and just kind of say, hey, I am okay. I know I look so tired now. I like just got off of work probably about an hour or so ago. But saying all this to say, I'm good. We're back. And I look forward to keep you guys posted on my post-grad journey. I'm very excited for what's to come. And in the meantime, I will see you guys later. Bye. Oh, one more thing. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because what are you doing? Don't you want to stay tuned on what I have going on? Or not, you know, I post a lot of advice and stuff too, but if it's not gonna bless you, it's never gonna bless somebody else. So make sure that you like and share this video with somebody that you know. Okay, now I'm done. Bye, y'all.
New level.